Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the SDK support in WSO2 API Manager. I believe all of you know what an SDK is. So SDK is a set of tools which includes samples, documentation, um, required or rather helps developers to get started easily. Uh, so when you work with APIs, as an API consumer or rather application developer, having an SDK will help you get started quickly because you get access to the documentation, sample code, and whatnot. So everything you need to get started as quickly as possible is part of the SDK. So if you look at WSO2 API Manager, you will see these four SDKs being delivered out of the box. So you get Android SDK, Java, JavaScript, and JMeet SDK for all the APIs. So what if you need to get an SDK for C Sharp, Python, Swift, right? So the option is to basically go and enable additional SDKs as shown in this documentation link. So it's pretty straightforward. So I get this question most of the time from customers and from prospects, how to get additional SDKs and what are the SDKs supported by WSO2 API Manager. So it's pretty easy to get additional SDKs. All what you need to do is you need to go into your API Manager configuration file, which is located in the repository and conf directory, and then you need to add this configuration line, right? So let me show you how to do that. So I have opened this API Manager version 4.5.0 folder for you. So under a repository, I do have the conf directory, and in that I have this deployment .toml file. So let me open this. So when you open this, if you check carefully, you will see this part is not available out of the box. So all what you need to do is copy from this documentation link and then add it to this configuration file. So there's a new section called apim.sdk supported languages, and you can basically include whatever the SDKs you want to generate. So I'll stick to the basic, or I'll stick to the default configuration, and then you need to save, and then you need to restart the WSO2 API Manager server. Once you restart, when you go to developer portal, so I have one API right now. Let me sign in first. Once you sign in, go into an API, you can go to the SDK section over here, and you will see all the SDKs, right? So by default we have Android, Java, JavaScript, and JMeter. Now you see we have C Sharp, Dart, Groovy, Python, PHP, all these different SDKs, right? So let's download the C Sharp one for Pizza Shack API. So that's the API I'm trying to maybe consume from my application. So let me download the C Sharp SDK for Pizza Shack API, and then let me go to the downloaded folder, So it's under my downloads, uh, and let me open it in VS Code. Right, so let's examine the downloaded SDK. So you'll see it's automatically installing the required dependencies the moment you open that project in VS Code. Right. Yeah, and then you can also go through all these different things, right? So you have a readme file, and you also have src, let's say tools, and then we have pizza check API, and under this we have two C# files, menu API.cs and od API.cs. So you have a bunch of code snippets, code blocks, helping you to get started. And also if you have any documentation as part of the API, so those documentation also will be available here as part of the docs folder, right? And then also you have the OpenAPI YAML file describing your API in the OpenAPI standard specification, right? So this is the sample project, or rather SDK you downloaded for an API called Pizza Check API from the developer portal after enabling additional SDKs in the developer portal. So I hope this helps you to understand how to get additional SDKs from WSO2 API Manager, and I will also post the link to the documentation so you can try out yourself. Thank you.